Lady of Tin Church spires in the background. Prague 7 Town Hall and Financial Office. Buildings facing the Republic Square. The Powder Tower is one of the most famous monuments in the Czech capital. The name of the tower derives from a gunpowder store located here in the 18th century. The late Gothic structure was built in the second half of the 15th century. The Municipal House, an Art Nouveau style building. The stained glass detail is absolutely exquisite. Just across the street is the Divadlo Hibernia Theatre, where we enjoyed a ballet recital in 2009. The House of the Black Madonna is a cubist building given its name by the stone sculpture that now stands in the corner of the facade. The Viking group on their way to the old town square, and a lovey-dovey couple. Is Rosita trying to capture the picture of a ghost? As we were walking towards the old town square, we first saw the 69 meters high old town hall tower built in 1364. The clock was built by Master Mikolas of Kadan and was mounted in the lower part of the old town hall tower at the beginning of the 15th century. Every hour the charming procession of apostles appears with its eloquent allegories, attracting the surprised attention of tourists and visitors who crowd around in the attractive little square below. The house at the Minute with Renaissance graffiti has been added to the old town city hall complex. This house with the three-part Renaissance window has also been added to the old town city hall complex. There is an inscription above the window reading Praga Caput Regni, which means Praga, the head of the kingdom. This building, which nowadays is used for representation purposes and ceremonial assemblies of the municipal authorities, is also part of the old town city hall. The Church of Our Lady of Teen. This mighty construction, one of the capital's most famous symbols, rises high above the rooftops of old Prague. The present-day building was erected on the site of an earlier Romanesque church in the second half of the 14th century. The facade, in all its austere Gothic magnificence, was completed in the second half of the 15th century. The tympanum contains a statue of the Madonna. The monument to John Huss stands in the center of Old Town Square. It was sculpted by Ladislav Salon and unveiled in July 1915 on the 500th anniversary of Huss's death. John Huss was a Czech theologian and preacher who was tried for heresy in 1415 and burnt at the stake, thus becoming a Czech martyr. Some of the building facades are heavily decorated, like this one. Quaint little plaza with a wrought iron fence around a fountain. The Hard Rock Cafe faces this plaza as well as the Taverna Toscana, where we had lunch at fresco. This was a new display at the Old Town Square, rows of chairs facing a brick wall. Can you figure it out? I couldn't. And of course, every big city has to have some of these crazy contraptions. Like in 2009, we stayed at the Hilton, as it is conveniently located on the right bank of the Vltava River, within walking distance from the city center and the bus and underground stations. Views from the windows in our room. St. Vitus Cathedral is situated within the Prague Castle complex. The awe-inspiring main facade of the Cathedral of St. Vitus with its rose window. Elaborate scenes from the Passion of Christ decorate the lunette above the central door. The splendid apse decorated with spires and pinnacles. Statue of Angel and Saint John of Nepomuk. The impressive tower crowned by a Baroque cupola. The lofty central nave of the cathedral, enhanced with unusual interlacing in the vault, some 124 meters long, just over 33 high, 60 meters at the widest point of the transept, with two lower naves flanking the central one. The interior of St. Vitus's Cathedral is austere, unadorned, and harmonious. Light filters through the large stained glass windows. A famous Mucha stained glass window. The Giant's Gate is the main entrance to the castle from the Grat Cani Square. The name of the gate is derived from the gigantic figures which dominate the pillars at the entrance, built between 1770 and 1771. The castle gate leads into the ceremonial courtyard or first courtyard. The second courtyard with the elegant Baroque fountain and an old well. The Holy Cross Chapel located in the second courtyard as well. It was being remodeled when we visited in 2009. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. Saint George killing the dragon. Saint George's Basilica, and behind it the towers from Saint George's Monastery. During the rainstorm, the President of the Czech Republic appeared and had to stay dry like the Viking group. Václav Klaus, President of the Czech Republic. And so it happened that the Viking group got to see the president just on his birthday. Notice the color coordination between the president and his bodyguard. The Archbishop's Palace at Hradčany Square. The Schwarzenberg Palace. Beautiful panoramic view of Prague captured from the castle hill. St. Nicholas Church and Tower in the lesser town. The Charles Bridge and the Old Town Bridge Tower. The National Theatre. The Church of Our Lady Victorious and St. Anthony of Padua, also known as the Church of the Infant Jesus of Prague, is a Baroque church located in the lesser town. It is of exceptional significance in particular because in it is preserved and venerated the famous statue of the Infant Jesus of Prague. The Infant Jesus of Prague, also known as Il Bambino di Praga, is a 45 centimeters tall wax figure of Spanish origin. The effigy is enshrined in a silver case, and its wardrobe contains many precious embroidered and decorated coats of various colors. Isabel and Jaime live in the church after visiting the Infant Jesus of Prague. The Jewish Quarter is a small area of the city known locally as Josesov, after the name of Joseph II, whose reforms significantly improved civil rights of Jews at the end of the 18th century. It is located between the Old Town Square and the Vltava River. Rudolfinum, one of Prague's prestigious concert and exhibition halls. It is one of the most important neo-Renaissance buildings in the city and is situated at Jan Palach Square. The Intercontinental Hotel in Prague. Jaime and Ove looking for a place to have a cup of coffee and sweets. This nice lady recommended this coffee shop. Are we in London? Even the Queen is greeting the patrons. It looks like they all enjoyed the sweets as well as the experience. New buildings close to the Hilton Hotel. The Czech National Museum. Wenceslas Square is one of the main city squares and the center of the business and cultural communities in the new town of Prague. Many historical events occurred here, and it is a traditional setting for demonstrations, celebrations, and other public gatherings. The square is named after Saint Wenceslas, the patron saint of Bohemia. It is part of the historic center of Prague, a World Heritage Site. Less square than a boulevard, Wenceslas Square has the shape of a very long 750-meter rectangle. The street slopes upward, and at the end the street is dominated by the grand neoclassical Czech National Museum. Monument to Saint Wenceslas, flanked by statues of Saint Ludmila, Saint Agnes, Saint Adalbert of Prague, and Saint Prokop. Memorial to Czech students who committed suicide by self-immolation as a political protest. Prague, home of the original Budweiser beer. Bata is Prague's largest shoe store. The Charles Bridge Towers. The Viking group enjoying a stroll on the Charles Bridge. Steep mechanical stairs at the metro station.